Hey y'all, what's going on? Patricia Berlin here. And today's video, I'm going to be talking about the power of not going back. And I got this from a snippet in a piece of poetry that I created. And in this particular piece, I entitled this particular poetic prose Noral, just Noral. And NORAL was moral in a nutshell, squashed together into one word. So the moral of the story is where that stands and is born from. And so the power of not going back and why honoring your progress means not returning to old habits or people. Yeah, I want to focus on one example for the duration of this 30-minute video. I'm going to go a little longer. Not much. Uh, I know I'm not a big talker. I don't really like to fuss about stuff. I'm definitely not going to rush. And today's very chill. First, I laid out on YouTube's kids. So shout out to YouTube. Y'all just doing it. Google, the owners, y'all just have been so great. And so I was watching actually E and on E. So they won. Okay. Oh, now, when I got a write up. I was wrote up. I got written up from Karina Russell, who was the manager at Nordstrom at the space in Beechwood, Ohio, and she wrote me up because she thought that I disrespected a white woman, a customer. And Karina's black, and why I got written up was because a white woman came up to me and she called me a bitch. She came right up to my face, with her finger, and was just so full of hatred. She just specifically told me, "You're such a bitch," and I just immediately thought to myself, like, "Well, wow, I didn't even call you a bitch. I didn't even call you out your name." And so, since she did that, I was like, "Well, if it takes one to know one, then so are you." And just like that. Um, big white woman. Uh, she had some kids with her, some girls, I guess. I guess they were her daughters. I'm not sure who they were. And she hated that I had told her where the restrooms were. Like, you in the store, walk around. Most likely you'll see it at the end of the day. Those are really not that difficult to find, truth be told. Nordstrom bathrooms are very kind of sort of easy to find and maneuver. So it really was no excuse. They're really expensive. They're really fancy. So I'm sure that's something that you're going to be well aware of more so than not. But for whatever reason, she just could not find this restroom there. But she could find me though. And so she's like, "Where's the restroom at?" And she was just like, just adamant. I can't think of another word. She was adamant about being in my face. And so she couldn't find the bathroom. She was just totally lost in her mind. She just, and Karina was no better. I laugh about it now, but in hindsight, in the moment, it's nothing's really all that funny. I mean, now it's funny, of course, you know what I mean? But like I said, that was 2 years ago. Now it's funny. And I want to make sure that we don't bypass that too quickly. Now it's funny. 2 years later is only when it began to get funny. So we clear on that. Yeah. And so she was in my face trying to figure out where the bathroom was. So because she positioned herself this way, it was behind her. And she hated that. She could not tolerate that. Well, you don't want to looking at the bathroom, but you in my face. So now you go had a nerve to hate that the thing is not in front of your face. It's like, okay, well, whatever. And so when you tell somebody something and you answer their question, mind you, that you didn't even have to ask for one. And the lady gets so upset and she's totally irate. Just from a simple restroom walk. Just totally lost her mind. And so she's like, you mean it's in front of me? Yeah, it would have been. But you are in front of the bathroom or are you in front of me? I know what the true answer is. And so Karina pulls me into the office. And they're going very slow, mind you. You ever saw like a snail? That's how slow they were moving. And so as we finally get there, this is where the neural was at. She discusses, like, oh, so she berated you? Look, call it however you want to call it. Slice it however many different ways. Basically, that's what you're doing. The lady should never have called me out my name. So if you want to call it berating, you want to call it, look, however you want to slice it. You did something that was negative. And it reflects such. And that was basically the entire vibe. Most of the time that was even a thing. And that's really where you turn your back at that particular point. Because at this point in time, who really wants to continuously moving forward with that type of idea? So as you turn your back on these type of thoughts and thinking of people, you begin to understand that, no, I'm going to put myself above what you're thinking about. Because clearly you're not. Because if I was, then you said what you did still, which was that I'm a bitch. So was that really put my wellness in the forefront of taking of being able to really feel as though you help bring some kind of solace into my own life? No. So again, turning your back is a form of honoring that young inner child. The innocence. The ability to recognize that this is something that you called me, even though this is not what's on my birth. But that was a choice. That was a decision that was made. So when we were discussing what took place, all I can really wrap my head around is the extreme slowness the ability to be so quick to say something, but you're never really in the midst. And then have a moment that's riddled with issues that are so unhelpful to the point where there's no need to come back. And as you realize that there's no desire, it's over. It's that has gotten to such an extreme negative place that there's no desire to even rekindle, to show back up, to have any more conversations with you, to be bothered with anybody else that thinks like you, to have any person in the company that is similar to you in anything that you do or think about. When you really get to those type of points and understanding that what takes place, and that's why it's such a moment of nah, I'm good when I turn my back. It's a power that tells you something, that what you did was considered beneath what I'm thinking about. So there's no need to come back and be around you. And I'm self-assured enough to understand that and then execute. Now, if you don't like that, oh, what a coinky thing. So when I realized that, as I really wanted to take care, and not even necessarily, so to speak, do all of that, but just make sure that I was okay. I have a daughter, and I come into work to get spoken to any kind of way. Who's going to continuously want to go head on and go down that route? It's just a question that you need to ponder when you're really looking to level up, and not even just always level up either, but whenever you're really looking to manifest and kind of sort of reset. I know we really like that word, and really kind of sort of want to figure out what we want our vision boards to look like, or where we want to go 10 years from now. That's really a great moment and opportunity to do those things instead of being around individuals who probably 10 years from now are either going to be dead in a jail cell. Because I mean, clearly that's just the kindness in me, just to walk away and just be like, okay, you're not even worth my time. So there's really no point to come back here. Because if I come back here, most likely I'm going to hit you, or I'm going to express the derogatory thoughts that was given to me. And when I am feeling that way, I know for a fact that that's something that you want. And not even a lifetime of poverty and want, just based off wanting ill from someone else, especially me, because that's all that it was. And it was sad because you're a black female and I'm a black female as well. So why is it always this constant battle back and forth? And this is where I get into, is really no point in turning on one another. Why can we not turn to one another and not on one another? And that's really what is sad, because that's what you necessarily want to happen. A whole bunch of pussy ass niggas who are letting see you, a bunch of pussy ass females that are letting see you. And at the same time, it's okay. When that begins to manifest, that's how you can tell. It's best to just continuously walk on and figure out what it is that you wish to embody, what the scale looks like according to what it is that you want to manifest with whatever it is that you're getting ready to launch. That's really ultimately where you want to put your focus at. Because again, you can realize there, when you do that way, how's that going to bring you any money? And then when you really got people who rocking like that, that's moving slow, they gonna move so cathedrally in the first place that they gonna miss out on the money to begin with. So you really just want to be mindful of who you want to embody. That's in alignment with the young lady that drives your kind of sort of 2019 or 2020, whatever, a Honda Accord. I want to practice that loyal fan base, and I'll just continue to be a repeat customer. Or I always love the Audi RS5 Sportsback. You know, I really like to go fast, some of my sports cars. So you have to realize what that is. Is she a type of lady who embodies a personification, who only has really higher standards for who it is that they hang around? So therefore, you know that's why those people are not there where you just left from. So there's really no need to go back, because you're honoring where you choose to wind up. And not necessarily the haters who are so slow in moving that they are actually a deterrent to things that you may wish to manifest. And that was one of the moments where I learned that lesson. And I don't really believe that those ladies really taught me anything else, much else. And that's even a stretch because basically I taught that lesson to me. And they watch me do it, if nothing else. Um, with a bit of a hateful and scornful attitude, mind you. Basically, because other than that, you wouldn't have called me out my name, and then you did that. I wouldn't even have a desire not to come back. I have been wanting to come back over and over again. So there's that.